Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving deep into one of the most in-demand roles in cybersecurity right now, the VAPT Engineer role. If you're interested in penetration testing, ethical hacking, IoT security, or red teaming, this episode is for you.
Absolutely. And what makes today's discussion special is that we're not just talking theory. We're breaking down a real job role, location, Mumbai and Gurugram, experience 3 to 10 years, salary ranging from 3 to 18 lakhs, and full-time in-office work.
So if you're a fresher planning your roadmap or an experienced pen tester thinking about your next jump, stick till the end because this role checks a lot of boxes.
Let's start simple. People hear VAPT Engineer and think it's just running tools like Nmap and Nessus.
Yeah, but in reality, VAPT is much deeper. VAPT stands for Vulnerability Assessment and Penetration Testing. Vulnerability assessment is about finding weaknesses, while penetration testing is about exploiting them safely to understand real risk.
Exactly. And companies rely on VAPT engineers to simulate real-world attacks before actual hackers do.
And in this role specifically, the focus extends beyond web apps into IoT devices, systems, and even red teaming activities.
This job is based in Mumbai and Gurugram, which are major tech and consulting hubs.
And it's an in-office role, which tells us something important.
Right. For security roles, especially pen testing and IoT testing, companies often prefer in-office work due to secure environments, lab setups, and sensitive data.
So if you're expecting 100% remote work, that's something to consider.
Now let's talk about experience. 3 to 10 years is a wide range.
Which is why the salary range is also wide, 3 LPA to 18 LPA.
Typically, 3 to 4 years, 4 to 7 LPA, 5 to 7 years, 8 to 14 LPA, 8 to 10 years with OSCP plus IoT expertise, 15 to 18 LPA plus.
And certifications like OSCP can massively accelerate salary growth.
Let's break down the responsibilities one by one.
This role emphasizes IoT device and system testing, which is huge right now.
Absolutely. IoT testing includes firmware analysis, hardware interface testing, UART, JTAG, network protocol attacks, weak authentication checks.
IoT security is complex because you're dealing with hardware plus software plus cloud.
Another key responsibility is writing custom Python scripts.
This separates average pen testers from advanced ones.
You might write scripts to automate scans, parse vulnerability results, exploit logic flaws, or create POCs.
If you rely only on tools, you'll hit a ceiling in this career.
VAPT engineers don't work in isolation.
You'll collaborate with developers, DevOps, SOC teams, security architects.
Your job isn't just to find bugs, it's to help teams fix them.
This is one of the most underrated skills.
Yeah, writing clear, actionable reports matters more than fancy exploits.
Management wants risk severity, business impact, and remediation steps.
A well-written report can make or break your reputation.
Let's talk tools.
The job mentions Nmap, Nessus, and Metasploit.
But tools alone aren't enough.
You should understand OWASP Top 10, MITRE, ATT, and CK, network protocols, and Linux internals.
Python is mandatory here.
And bash/shell scripting helps a lot in Linux environments.
If you can automate repetitive tasks, you're already ahead.
OSCP and certifications is marked as preferred, not mandatory, but trust me, it's a game changer.
It proves you can think like an attacker, not just memorize tools.
So where does this role lead?
Possible paths include Senior VAPT Engineer, Red Team Specialist, Security Consultant, Threat Researcher, Security Architect.
Some even move into bug bounty full-time or start consulting firms.
This role is ideal if you have 3 years plus in cybersecurity, you enjoy hands-on hacking, you're curious about IoT security, and you want strong salary growth.
Not ideal if you're looking for pure remote work, only compliance or GRC roles, or zero scripting.
Sia, a lot of people hear IoT penetration testing and honestly don't know what that looks like in real life.
True. Most candidates think IoT testing is just scanning IP addresses, but in reality, it's way more layered.
Exactly. For example, imagine a smart camera or an industrial sensor. As a VAPT engineer, your first step is often firmware extraction.
Right. You'll dump firmware, analyze it for hard-coded credentials, weak encryption, outdated libraries, things attackers love.
And this is where Python and scripting come into play.
Yes, because many times there's no ready-made tool. You have to write your own scripts to parse firmware files or decode communication traffic.
Another underrated part is protocol testing.
Absolutely. IoT devices use protocols like MQTT, COAP, Modbus, Zigbee, and many engineers underestimate them.
And attackers don't.
Exactly. Misconfigured MQTT brokers, weak authentication, plain text credentials, these are common findings.
So a VAPT engineer must understand how data flows from device to cloud.
And how to intercept, manipulate, and replay that data safely during tests.
This job description also mentions red teaming, which is interesting.
Yeah, because VAPT is usually scoped and controlled, while red teaming simulates real attackers.
In red teaming, you don't get a checklist.
Exactly. You start with reconnaissance, social engineering possibilities, pivoting, lateral movement, just like a real breach.
And if you're strong in VAPT, transitioning to red teaming is a natural progression.
Let's talk more about Python, because people underestimate how much they'll use it.
Daily use, honestly.
You might write Python scripts to automate brute force logic, customize payloads, chain vulnerabilities, generate exploit reports.
And Python also helps integrate with tools like Burp Suite, Metasploit, and custom scanners.
If you're a VAPT engineer who can't script, you're limited.
Sia, from interviews you've seen, what are the most common mistakes candidates make?
Big one, tool dependency.
Meaning,
They say I used Nessus but can't explain why a vulnerability exists.
that's a red flag.
Another mistake is poor reporting skills.
Yeah, security teams often complain that pen testers find issues but don't explain remediation clearly.
And finally, weak networking fundamentals.
Let's simulate what interviews for this role usually focus on.
Sure, first round is usually technical screening.
They might ask, explain OWASP top 10, difference between VA and PT, how you'd test an IoT device.
Second round dives deeper, live scenarios.
Like, you found an open port on a device, what's next?
And they expect logical thinking, not memorized answers.
Let's talk openly about OSCP.
OSCP doesn't make you a hacker overnight, but it changes your mindset.
It teaches persistence.
Exactly. You learn to fail, retry, research, and exploit creatively.
For a role like this, OSCP is a strong differentiator.
People glamorize cybersecurity, but let's be honest, pressure exists.
Deadlines, compliance audits, client expectations.
And sometimes you're testing production-like environments where mistakes matter. But if you enjoy problem solving, it's rewarding.
Let's give practical advice on salary negotiation.
If you have IoT testing experience, Python automation, OSCP, or similar cert,
You should never undersell yourself.
demonstrate impact, not just years of experience.
Looking ahead, where do you see this role evolving?
More automation, AI-assisted pen testing, and cloud-IoT convergence.
Which means continuous learning.
If you stop learning, you fall behind.
One final piece of advice.
Build labs, break things, document everything.
And don't chase salary first, chase skills. Sia, a lot of viewers ask this question. What does a normal day look like for a VAPT engineer?
Honestly, there's no single normal day, but usually it starts with understanding the scope of engagement.
Right. Scope defines everything. What you can test, what you cannot touch, timelines, and reporting expectations.
Once scope is clear, you spend time setting up labs, VPN access, credentials if white box testing is allowed.
And then comes reconnaissance.
Exactly. Information gathering is 60% of the job. If recon is weak, exploitation becomes guesswork.
This role doesn't explicitly mention testing types, but let's clarify for viewers.
White box testing means you have full access: source code, architecture diagrams, credentials.
Gray box is partial knowledge.
And black box is pure attacker perspective, no internal access.
For IoT testing, white and gray box are very common.
Because hardware-level testing without information wastes time.
Let's go deeper into hardware testing. This is where most engineers struggle.
True. Hardware testing includes UART, JTAG, SPI, flash memory extraction.
And many times, credentials are sitting in plain text inside firmware.
Exactly. Attackers love misconfigured bootloaders and debug ports.
This is why IoT security experts are paid well. Very few people master this.
IoT devices don't exist alone, they connect to cloud platforms.
AWS IoT, Azure IoT Hub, Google Cloud IoT all introduce new attack surfaces.
Misconfigured IAM roles, weak API keys, exposed endpoints.
A VAPT engineer must test device to cloud to mobile app as one ecosystem,
Most IoT systems include a mobile app.
which means Android and iOS testing becomes part of VAPT.
API testing, token manipulation, insecure storage, very common issues.
So if you already know mobile pen testing, IoT VAPT becomes easier.
Advanced exploitation and chaining bugs. Single vulnerabilities are rare these days. Real attacks chain multiple issues.
For example, weak auth plus exposed API plus misconfigured cloud storage.
Chaining vulnerabilities is what separates senior engineers from juniors.
Reporting deserves another deep discussion.
Most companies expect 2 reports
One technical report for engineers.
and 1 executive summary for management.
If you can't translate risk into business language, findings get ignored.
Communication is a hidden skill in VAPT.
Clients sometimes panic when they see critical vulnerability.
Your job is to explain calmly, clearly, and responsibly.
Ethical hacking is as much about trust as it is about skill.
Compliance and regulatory drivers. Why do companies even hire VAPT engineers?
Compliance, ISO 27001, SOC 2, PCI DSS, HIPAA,
And IoT regulations are increasing globally.
which means demand for this role is not going down anytime soon.
Career switch into VAPT. What if someone is coming from networking or development?
Great background. Developers make excellent pen testers.
Because they understand logic flaws.
Networking professionals excel at infrastructure testing.
Skill roadmap for 3 to 10 years experience. Let's map skills to experience.
3 to 4 years, solid fundamentals, tools, and reporting.
5 to 7 years, exploit chaining, automation, IoT specialization.
8 to 10 years, red teaming, architecture reviews, and mentoring juniors.
Work-life balance reality. Honest question, work-life balance.
Depends on company and project.
Audit season gets hectic.
But skill-based roles give flexibility long-term.
How to stand out for this job?
Final actionable advice.
Build. Personal labs, GitHub scripts, sample reports.
And talk about impact, not tools. Sia, let's walk people through a realistic client engagement for a VAPT engineer.
Good idea. Imagine a manufacturing company deploying smart sensors across factories.
They approach the security team for IoT penetration testing before full rollout.
First step, kickoff meeting. You understand business goals, threat model, and regulatory requirements.
This is where many juniors fail. They jump into hacking without understanding why the test exists.
Exactly. Security exists to protect business outcomes, not ego.
Threat modeling is often skipped, but it's critical.
You identify attackers, internal, external, nation-state, competitors.
Then assets, devices, firmware, cloud backend, mobile apps, and APIs.
And then attack paths, physical access, network access, remote exploitation.
This mindset makes VAPT strategic, not mechanical.
IoT testing sometimes involves physical access.
And that scares companies.
But attackers do get physical access, stolen devices, resale markets.
You test SD cards, debug ports, bootloader protections.
Weak physical security often leads to full compromise.
Firmware and reverse engineering deserves its own segment.
Absolutely. You unpack firmware images, analyze file systems, binaries, configs.
Hard-coded passwords, outdated OpenSSL versions, debug backdoors.
This is where Linux internals knowledge becomes invaluable.
And patience, lots of patience.
Once firmware and hardware are tested, you move to live network testing.
Scanning internal networks, identifying exposed services.
Testing TLS configurations, weak ciphers, insecure ports.
And simulating MITM attacks when applicable.
Let's clarify something. Tools like Metasploit.
They're frameworks, not magic buttons.
Using Metasploit without understanding exploits is dangerous.
Senior VAPT engineers often modify or write custom modules.
Again, scripting skills decide your ceiling.
As you gain experience, your mindset shifts.
From what vulnerabilities exist to how would I break this company?
That's red teaming thinking. Persistence, stealth, chaining attacks.
And thinking like a real adversary, not an auditor.
What happens when you find something critical?
Responsible disclosure is key.
No panic emails, no blame.
You validate impact, document steps, and inform stakeholders securely.
Professionalism matters more than excitement.
This role sounds like consulting.
Yes, and consulting VAPT is different from internal security teams.
Consultants handle multiple industries, faster learning.
Internal teams go deeper into one environment.
Both paths are valid depending on personality.
Senior VAPT engineers often mentor juniors.
Code reviews, report reviews,
Walkthroughs, teaching forces you to master fundamentals.
and leadership skills increase your value.
Burnout is real in cybersecurity.
Long hours, pressure, constant learning.
How do professionals manage?
Automation, boundaries, continuous but focused learning.
Let's help viewers build a strong profile.
GitHub repositories, write-ups, labs, certifications.
Conference talks and blogs help too.
Visibility plus skill equal opportunity.
Is this role globally relevant?
100% US, Europe, Middle East, huge demand.
IoT security is universal.
And strong engineers are borderless.
Will AI replace VAPT engineers?
No, it will amplify them.
Automation handles repetitive scanning.
Humans handle logic, creativity, judgment.
Let's end with long-term vision.
VAPT can lead to CISO, architect, founder roles.
Skills compound over time.
Ethical hacking is a marathon, not a sprint.
Sia, so far we've talked a lot about individual devices and mid-sized systems. Let's shift to large enterprise environments.
That's a completely different level of complexity. Hundreds or thousands of IoT devices, multiple networks, different vendors.
And one mistake in such environments can have massive consequences.
Exactly. As a VAPT engineer, you must understand segmentation, network zoning, and trust boundaries.
Testing in enterprise environments is less about speed and more about precision.
Scoping becomes critical at this level.
Because testing the wrong IP range can cause outages.
Or legal issues.
That's why written authorization, scope documents, and sign-offs are non-negotiable.
A professional VAPT engineer never tests without clear approval.
Let's talk about production systems.
Many IoT devices run 24/7. Healthcare, manufacturing, utilities.
You can't just reboot a medical device for testing.
So you simulate attacks carefully, often in staging environments.
Risk awareness is a senior-level skill.
Sometimes VAPT findings trigger incident response workflows.
Especially when testing uncovers active exploitation.
Then you work closely with SOC and IR teams.
Knowing how attackers behave helps you assist defenders.
Logging, monitoring, and evasion testing introduces another dimension, evasion.
Testing whether security teams can detect attacks.
Logs, SIEM alerts, anomaly detection.
If attacks go unnoticed, that's a serious gap.
Post-exploitation decision-making is not about destruction.
It's about demonstrating impact safely.
Accessing sensitive data, escalating privileges, lateral movement.
All documented, controlled, and ethical.
How do you tell executives their systems are vulnerable?
With clarity, calmness, and solutions.
No fear-mongering.
Just facts, risks, and remediation paths.
Fixing issues is not the end.
Retesting is equally important.
To confirm vulnerabilities are truly closed.
And no new issues were introduced.
Senior engineers document everything.
Internal wikis, playbooks, methodologies.
This improves consistency across teams.
And helps onboard new engineers faster.
Not every client agrees with findings.
True, some challenge severity or feasibility.
Evidence is your best defense.
Screenshots, logs, reproducible steps.
IoT ecosystems often involve multiple vendors.
And security responsibility becomes fragmented.
One weak vendor can compromise everything. Supply chain security is now a major concern.
This is where VAPT expands beyond code.
Vendor assessments, firmware sources, update mechanisms.
Trust but verify.
Exactly.
Many engineers hit career plateaus.
Usually due to lack of specialization.
IoT security can be that specialization.
Depth beats breadth at senior levels.
Not everyone wants to be a manager.
And that's okay.
Technical leadership is equally valuable.
Principal, staff, lead VAPT roles exist.
Ethical hacking requires restraint.
Just because you can exploit something doesn't mean you should.
Integrity builds long-term trust. Sia, not all companies approach security the same way. That changes how VAPT engineers work.
Absolutely. Some organizations are just starting, others are very mature.
In low-maturity companies, VAPT findings are often basic: default credentials, open ports, outdated firmware.
Whereas in mature organizations, you're hunting logic flaws, misconfigurations, and complex attack chains.
This job description suggests mid to high maturity environments.
Which means expectations are higher, and so is learning.
Let's compare startups and consulting firms.
Startups move fast, often at the cost of security.
So VAPT engineers find many issues quickly.
But consulting firms expose you to multiple industries: finance, healthcare, manufacturing, telecom.
This role clearly leans towards consulting exposure.
One underrated skill is time management.
Yes, you might only have 10 days to test a massive system.
You must prioritize high-risk areas first.
Senior engineers know where attackers would focus.
Hard truth, not all vulnerabilities get patched.
Business constraints, legacy systems, downtime risks.
That's why risk acceptance exists.
Your job is to clearly document residual risk.
Legacy IoT devices are nightmares.
Old firmware, no updates, weak encryption.
But they're everywhere. Factories, hospitals, utilities.
This makes IoT VAPT a long-term career skill.
Another critical area, update mechanisms.
Insecure firmware updates allow attackers to inject malicious code.
Testing update integrity is crucial.
Signed firmware, secure boot, rollback protection.
Generic recommendations don't help anyone.
Apply latest patch isn't always practical.
Good VAPT engineers suggest realistic mitigations.
Network isolation, monitoring, compensating controls.
Understanding blue team helps red team.
Exactly. Knowing how SOC detects attacks improves your testing.
This job requires collaboration, not rivalry.
Attack and defense must work together.
Automated tools produce false positives.
Validating findings is mandatory.
Reporting false issues destroys credibility.
Manual verification separates professionals from amateurs.
How do managers evaluate VAPT engineers?
Quality of findings, not quantity.
Clear communication.
And how well they support remediation.
Security doesn't exist in a vacuum.
Politics, budgets, priorities.
Good engineers navigate this professionally.
Technical skill alone isn't enough,
Developers sometimes push back.
especially when deadlines are tight.
Your approach matters, collaborative, not confrontational.
Security is a shared responsibility,
Attack chains tell a story.
from initial access to impact.
This helps management understand risk clearly.
Storytelling is a security skill.
Executives want metrics.
Risk reduction, trend analysis, maturity improvements.
Good reports justify security budgets.
And your role.
Trust is built over time.
Consistency, honesty, professionalism.
Clients invite back engineers they trust.
That's how reputations grow.
This role opens many doors.
Consulting, internal security, leadership, entrepreneurship.
Skills compound year after year.
That's the beauty of cybersecurity.
Sia, one thing that keeps changing in this field is the attack surface itself.
Exactly. IoT today is not what it was 5 years ago.
Earlier, attackers focused on devices. Now it's device plus cloud plus API plus mobile plus supply chain.
Which means VAPT engineers must constantly update their mental models.
Static knowledge gets outdated fast.
APIs are now the backbone of IoT systems.
And insecure APIs are one of the most common findings.
Broken authentication, improper authorization, excessive data exposure.
Testing APIs requires understanding business logic, not just endpoints.
That's where experienced engineers shine.
Zero trust and IoT security is a buzzword, but it matters for IoT.
Absolutely. Devices should never be trusted by default.
Continuous authentication, least privilege, segmentation.
VAPT engineers test whether zero trust is actually implemented or just claimed.
Secure boot and trusted execution is critical for hardware security.
But many implementations are flawed.
Unsigned firmware, weak key storage, bypassable checks.
Breaking secure boot is high impact and high skill work.
How devices identify themselves is another weak point.
Hard-coded certificates, shared keys across devices.
One compromise can lead to mass exploitation.
VAPT engineers test identity lifecycle, provisioning, rotation, revocation.
Edge computing adds another layer,
More processing happens outside secure data centers.
which means physical access risks increase.
Edge security is a growing specialization within VAPT.
Who actually attacks IoT systems?
Cybercriminals, botnet operators, nation-state actors.
Different motivations, different techniques.
Understanding adversaries improves test realism.
IoT botnets are still a massive problem.
Weak credentials, exposed services.
VAPT engineers simulate how devices could be recruited into botnets.
This helps organizations understand external risk.
Ransomware isn't limited to IT systems anymore.
Operational technology and IoT are targets.
Factories, hospitals, smart buildings.
VAPT engineers test how ransomware could move from IT to OT.
IoT introduces safety concerns.
Security failures can cause physical harm. That raises responsibility for testers.
Controlled testing is essential.
Advanced testing can cross ethical lines if not careful.
That's why rules of engagement matter.
Ethics distinguish professionals from criminals.
Reputation is everything in this field.
Generalists eventually hit a ceiling.
Specialization breaks that ceiling.
IoT security, cloud pen testing, red teaming.
Depth creates leverage.
Let's talk about thought leadership.
Blogs, conference talks, research papers,
Sharing knowledge increases credibility.
and attracts better opportunities.
Open source contributions matter.
Tools, scripts, documentation.
They demonstrate real skill.
Recruiters notice that.
Senior interviews are different.
Less tool questions, more scenarios.
How would you secure this system?
They test judgment, not memory.
Where is this industry heading?
More connected devices, more risk.
Which means sustained demand.
VAPT skills remain future-proof.
Experience alone isn't enough.
Continuous learning keeps experience relevant.
Certs, labs, research.
The learning never stops.
Sia, by the time someone reaches senior levels, VAPT often evolves into red team operations.
Yes, and red teaming in IoT environments is especially complex.
Because you're no longer limited to one device or one app.
You simulate a real attacker targeting the entire organization.
Most people think attacks start with scanning.
But initial access can come from many places.
Phishing campaigns, compromised vendors, leaked credentials.
Red teamers test human and process weaknesses too.
One of the most dangerous scenarios is moving from IoT to IT networks.
Absolutely. A weak device becomes a bridge into corporate systems.
VAPT engineers test segmentation effectiveness.
If segmentation fails, impact multiplies.
Maintaining command and control in IoT networks is tricky.
Limited bandwidth, unusual protocols, noisy environments.
Attackers adapt their techniques.
Red teams test whether defenders can detect this traffic.
Exfiltration is not always loud.
Sometimes data is leaked slowly over long periods.
Blending into normal traffic.
Testing these scenarios reveals monitoring gaps.
Industrial IoT deserves special mention,
OT environments prioritize availability over security.
which creates unique risks.
Testing must be cautious and coordinated.
Safety-critical systems testing raises the stakes.
Testing must never put people at risk.
Simulations and tabletop exercises are often used.
Ethics and responsibility are paramount.
Purple teaming is gaining popularity.
Red and blue teams collaborating in real time.
Faster learning cycles.
Better detection, better defense.
How do you measure success?
Not by chaos, but by insights.
Detection rates, response time, containment.
Metrics drive improvement.
Building adversary emulation plans is advanced work.
You mimic known threat actors.
Tools, techniques, procedures.
This requires deep research skills.
Let's define the elite skill sack.
Networking, OS internals, scripting, cloud, hardware.
Plus communication and judgment.
It's a rare combination.
Not every test succeeds.
Failure teaches more than success.
Postmortems matter.
Learning mindset is essential.
At senior levels, your name becomes your brand.
Reputation travels faster than resumes.
Integrity, consistency, expertise.
These open doors.
Consulting versus in-house red team roles.
Let's compare career paths.
Consulting offers variety.
In-house roles offer depth.
Both have long-term potential. Leadership without losing technical edge.
Leadership often pulls people away from hands-on work.
Strong leaders stay technically relevant.
They review code, designs, reports.
That earns respect. Looking ahead, what changes?
More automation, but higher expectations.
More connected systems.
More demand for skilled professionals.
Cloud plus IoT hybrid attack surfaces. Ryan, modern IoT doesn't live in isolation anymore,
Exactly. Almost every device talks to the cloud.
which massively expands the attack surface.
VAPT engineers must think hybrid, device, network, and cloud.
Misconfigured cloud backends. Many IoT breaches don't start on the device.
They start in the cloud console.
Over-permissive IAM roles, exposed APIs.
Attackers love configuration mistakes.
API security testing for IoT platforms. APIs are the nervous system of IoT platforms.
and they're often under-tested.
Authentication, rate limiting, authorization.
A single broken API can expose millions of devices.
Identity and access management pitfalls. IAM issues are everywhere.
Especially in fast-scaling startups.
Temporary permissions become permanent.
And least privilege is forgotten.
CI/CD pipeline risks in IoT firms. What about pipelines?
They're a hidden goldmine for attackers.
Secrets in code, weak runners.
VAPT now includes DevSecOps reviews.
Supply chain attacks on IoT ecosystems. Supply chain attacks are rising.
Third-party firmware, SDKs, libraries.
A single compromised vendor can infect thousands.
Testing trust boundaries is critical.
Hardware root of trust in TPMs. Hardware security matters more now.
TPMs, secure elements, hardware roots of trust.
They raise the bar for attackers.
But misconfiguration still breaks them.
Firmware update mechanisms. Firmware updates are double-edged swords.
Secure updates protect devices.
Insecure ones allow full compromise.
Signature verification is non-negotiable.
Incident response during live attacks. What happens when testing meets reality?
Live incidents.
VAPT engineers assist response teams.
Calm decision-making becomes essential.
Communicating with executives. Technical findings don't impress executives.
Business impact does.
Risk, revenue, reputation.
That's the language leaders understand.
Writing board-level reports. Board reports are different.
Concise, impact-focused, non-technical.
No CVE jumps.
Just decisions and consequences.
Legal, compliance, and liability concerns. Security findings can trigger legal issues.
Especially in regulated industries.
Data protection laws, liability clauses.
VAPT engineers must be careful.
Global standards for IoT security. Standards guide security.
ISO, NIST, ETSI.
They're frameworks, not checklists.
Understanding intent matters.
AI in attacks and defense. AI is changing everything.
Both attackers and defenders use it.
Automated exploitation, anomaly detection.
Humans still guide strategy.
Ethical boundaries in advanced testing. Advanced access brings ethical dilemmas.
Just because you can doesn't mean you should.
Scope discipline is vital.
Trust is fragile.
Career longevity in cybersecurity. Burnout is real.
Long hours, constant learning.
Balance matters.
Sustainable careers outperform short sprints.
Mentorship and giving back. Senior engineers must mentor.
Knowledge sharing strengthens the field.
It also sharpens your own skills.
Teaching reveals gaps.
Final call to action, end of full series. If you've watched this entire series, you're no longer just curious about cybersecurity.
You're thinking like a real VAPT engineer, pen tester, and red team professional.
This field rewards those who go deeper, not faster.
So here's your next step.
If you found value in these real-world discussions,
like this video to support long-form cybersecurity content.
Subscribe for advanced VAPT, IoT security, and red team breakdowns.
Comment where you're watching from and your current role, student, engineer, or professional.
And if you're serious about this career,
save this video, revisit it, and apply what you learned.